Hello everyone, I'm Siew Yi Jin, and welcome to today's panel discussion. In the year 2006, there is a report which attracted public attention on the issue of public punishment in St. David High School, Malacca. The boys are reported to be lying face down in the ground, and a teacher, allegedly the principal, Mr. Chin, given each student one stroke on the backside with his cane. This was a video went viral in the internet and raised a lot of debates amongst parents and teachers on whether the principal action is justified. So this is the reason why we are here today to discuss should caning be allowed in school. We will have 3 speakers with us today in this panel discussion. I will now like to introduce our speaker, Mr. Tan Siew Meng, as a Deputy Education Ministry. He is a law school graduate, and after his graduation, he started to work in the field of education and gained a lot of experience from his past. Next, I would like to introduce Ms. Fairuz. She is the President of National Parents and Teachers Association in Malaysia. The main role of PTA is to build strong working relationships between parents, teachers, and schools in support of students. Teachers may talk to the parent community about the new reading program or student discipline issues. Last but not least, Ms. Sohnia. Ms. Sohnia is a teacher who has 20 years of teaching experience in school. She is also one of the witnesses who undergone the change of caning system in school. Before we start the discussion, I would like to give a brief introduction or opening to today's topic, which is should caning be allowed in school? Corporal punishment is lawful in school for boys only and is regulated by the Education Regulation Student Disciplines 2006. However, there are many reported cases suggesting the caning of schoolgirls on their arms is a common practice, especially in primary schools. While serious infringements such as theft, smoking, gangsterism, and bullying are among offences punishable by caning, minor transgressions such as incomplete homework have also been dealt with the physical punishment. So, government then came out 7 guidelines on school caning policy. First, caning is permitted for boys only. Second, in most circumstances, the caning can only be conducted by the headmaster. Third, a teacher can only cane when the headmaster delegates his power to him or her to do so. Fourth, the student can only be caned on the buttocks, with clothes, or the palm. He cannot be caned on the bare buttocks. Fifth, the caning is to be conducted in a confined area, and the student's parent will be informed and invited to witness their son's punishment. Lastly, caning must only be for a repeated or a very serious offense. Public caning is banned in school after the Education Regulation Student Discipline 2006 came into force. The Malaysian government does not encourage caning for primary school. But caning is allowed in secondary school and may only be administered by the principal or person to whom he delegates power. Without further ado, perhaps we can start from Ms. Sohnia as a teacher in school to express her point of view towards this policy.
Well, a very good morning to everyone present here today. Today I'll be talking from a teacher's perspective, and I have a 20 years based experience teaching and conducting lessons in school, having seen behaviors of students. And from what I think, it's very upsetting for so many restrictive guidelines to have been imposed on us teachers to not cane the students directly, and the caning is now under the authorization of the headmaster, which is something that we teachers find it hard, because it would be much better if we teachers could directly cane these kids instantly to allow them to know what their wrong is all about. Okay, first and foremost, in this field, I personally think that nothing beats the effectiveness of caning being used as a form of punishment in school. Now there's a difference between students those days and students these days. Students those days, they were well groomed at home because most of the moms last time, they were all stay-at-home moms. And these moms were self-educated kids before sending them to schools and all. So they have a much clearer picture of how they should be well composed before entering school. But moral issues back then were hardly occurred back then. But this is not the situation at hand today because kids have become more rebellious. They have started being out of our control. They act out of our control. They behave like total hooligans these days, and it's very hard for us teachers to control these kids if we do not cane them or punish them. This has how we have many other forms of punishments, like standing out of the class and all. But standing out of the class and somebody walks by the corridor and the students get engaged talking to their friends, and it becomes like a whole fun kind of thing rather than being sort of a punishment. So if it's caning, it's going to not only humiliate a person, but that specific child will actually know that, okay, I did something wrong, and I would not want to do it again in the future, and it would be stuck on his mind. So as a result, even those we have counseling sessions that take place these days that is said to be a way to make the students to not behave such way. It's like a punishment, a form of punishment. But I don't think that, as a teacher, I don't think counseling works any better because counseling is more to a one-to-one session where you actually talk to the person in a very comfort and calm manner and understanding. But it's not effective, and it's more of a waste of both our teachers' time and energy. Advices given to them just goes down the drain and only aids us teachers being all drained out. So students start off by bunking classes, playing trons, they start vandalizing the public authorities, the public flush starts scribbling on the walls, graffiti, and they start even whacking others, their own friends, and then it comes to a stage where they start stealing each other's goods, expensive things, and they go on this wheeling this mud trumpet and so forth. So upon the years there have been many disciplinary cases and issues. Hence, I think caning has got to be implemented thoroughly. Though, despite caning being a tortious liability, as it falls within the ambit of battery and actions could be taken against us teachers in the court, I, on behalf of my fellow mate, think that the law should allow for some form of caning. There are, in fact, many advantages, positive effects of caning. And we teachers, we personally pray that such punishment would be brought under the teacher's authority and to not only fall within the headmaster authority, because the headmaster is not always in school. He goes for field trips, he goes for meetings abroad and all. So when he's not around, it's us teachers who are actually managing the students. Now, move on. There are some positive effects of caning. Okay, first and foremost is that the execution of caning can be meted out quickly. If it's going to be a counseling session, then it will take much time because we need to find a date which coordinates with the student's schedule and also the counselor's schedule. So it would be a bit difficult and they would miss out on lessons. So this is a form of punishment that can be meted out quickly. Secondly, caning teaches children on how to be more disciplined, because when you cane them, it would give them a sense that, okay, I'm doing something wrong and I would not want to do it again. Such type of sense that will discipline students towards a much progressive future. Thirdly, caning instills fear in students, and this kind of fear, it would be much of a positive kind of fear that will be a powerful motivator that helps condition their behavior. And caning serves as not only has a lesson to the students performing it, but it also is a deterrent to other students as well from doing other criminal sorts or deviant behavior on the part of students. Next, caning helps to create awareness in student wrongdoing, as I have mentioned. And finally, since it is counseling, right, we have an acute shortage of trained counselors in schools nowadays, and to have a one-to-one interaction between so many students and counselors, I think it would be very impossible. So I propose that caning should be implemented. So what do you think?
Okay, thank you, Ms. Sohnia. Maybe we can have Mr. Tan to enlighten us for perhaps from the legal aspect that Ms. Sohnia has raised just now.
Thank you, Ms. Moderator. First of all, good morning to everyone, and thank you to the organizer for inviting me to discuss this fiercely debated issue. I agree to Ms. Sohnia that punishment, in this case caning, does give deterrent effect on students. Students will be deterred from wrongdoings in school compound. However, since students are still children or young adults who still needs to be disciplined, the punishment should not give long-term trauma on the students. They should not be taken as a criminal. Thus, we urge the execution procedure has to be taken with utmost care.
It's interesting, thank you, Mr. Tan. Ms. Fairuz, I believe that you, just like most of the parents, will have come concerned on this issue. Would you like to express your point of view in this case?
Yes, sure. Good morning, all. I'm as one of the parents and I'm the president of the Parents and Teachers Associations. I want to give my opinion that we parents objected that public caning should be imposed in school. This is because most parents believe that teachers have less power to enforce good behavior for the pupils. The Department for Education and Skills in London even ran a research and found out that many parents are of the opinion that discipline in school has declined. We as parents always want the best for our children. We don't want our children to be punished and eventually affected either mentally or physically by the act of the teachers at school. We parents want our children to have freedom to explore the world and learn from their mistakes. And unrealistic notions of what we should be doing and giving to our children really make us parents stress out sometimes. Not every parents going to shape their children in the best way. Most children spend their time at home after school hours. Parents are the one who is in charge of taking care of their kids. They know more about the kids when they spend time together. Different parents use different ways to raise up their kids. Some parents would never even raise voice on their kids, and they don't want their kids to be heard by someone else, even this for punishment to teach the kids a lesson. We can't deny the fact that parents nowadays are so protective over their kids. This has been debating over the entire world. Because we parents believe that corporal punishment will have more bad effects on the children themselves. Child's behavior reflects the way they want to be treated. The naughtier the child is, the softer the child wants to be treated. This is because some of the children want more attention from adults. They don't get sufficient attention at home, and they will tend to create problems at school. And if the severe punishment is being held, which is being caned at school, the children will be scared and hate to go to school. They will feel insecure to even attend school. They won't feel safe to talk to the teachers as they are scared if they are making mistakes. The teachers will straight away punish them. And however, some children will become more rebellious. The children will feel the need to challenge the teachers to impose the punishment on them. Even so, the punished students will be recognized as bad students to the other students, and this will bring a bad impact to the students itself, where the other kids will lower their self-esteem. And these kids, the punished kids, will believe that there are no more room for improvement for themselves to be a better person. And for we parents suggested that maybe other kind of punishment would be better, such as maybe cleaning the school compound and helping the teachers during the weekends.
Thank you, Ms. Fairuz. Mr. Tan, how do you or the Ministry of Education think about Ms. Fairuz's statement?
I understand the concern of the parents in and I'm agree with the Ms. Fairuz opinion that the public caning should be replaced by the punishment of caning the school compounds and etc. But nowadays, I would like to point out that the nature and character of the millennium children is very much different in the past compared to the past. In the past, children don't have much privilege as compared to the present times. The children in the past has to endure a lot of hardship, especially the World War II times or during the period where the nation is having a simpler times. They know it is important to respect each other because they don't have much, so they will cherish and appreciate what they have. And most importantly, they know how to respect the elderly person. But to be frank, children nowadays does not know the value of respect or courtesy. So I personally think that educational punishment is important apart from public caning. The point that the punishment should be in the form of cleaning the school compound, etc. is correct. But I think public caning should not be 100% eliminated because it is still an essential punishment. So for me, educational punishment is important and in fact more important than the past decades.
Okay, maybe we can heard more legal view from Mr. Tan. Will you please elaborate more on legal view?
Okay. In general, it is on my view that corporal punishment should not be abolished as it prevents students from not adhering to school rules and disrupt the harmonious state in school. However, public caning should be done in a controlled method of executions to be fair to both sides, to the parents and the teachers. And I totally understand why the both sides, parents and teachers, are debating on this issue since decades ago. In fact, since I got appointed as the Deputy Education Ministry. And there is a saying that the most precious jewel a parent will ever have around their necks are the arms of the children. So we can say that the parents, in fact, love their children very much, but we cannot deny the fact teachers also love the children very much. So on the other hand, teachers always care for their children by treating them just like their own child. However, children are still children. Their mischievous nature still need to be disciplined whenever necessary. I would support for the public caning, but it should be done in a certain conditions, that it should be done in a reasonable ways and should be done in a purpose to educate and disciplinary purpose. So to protect both parties, as mentioned by the moderator, Ms. Siew, that the government has already issued a guidelines as a reference for the school administration that they must refer to the guidelines. So I would like to point out some of the important rules as laid out in the guidelines. Firstly, only school heads and disciplinary heads are allowed to cane students under the strict conditions and only for serious offences. Having said that, the school head, however, are not given full permission to cane students. They cannot cane students based on their discretion. There has to be a collective decision. So it must be done in a motion supported by the majority of the teachers. And secondly, the offences are categorized in the guidelines into 3 categories, which are heavy, medium, and light. Thirdly, and most importantly, this is the most important, is that counseling session must be given to students before any execution of public caning. This is a chance for the students to express what is their problem, or maybe they have issue from their families, or they have mental or psychology issue. So I sincerely hope that these guidelines can be seen as an effective move to balance the concern of both the parents and the teachers. My advice to the school administrator is that caning shall never came out of anger, but only for educational purposes.
Okay, I see that our time is up, so we can sum up by saying that under tort law, caning is said liable under battery, which is the offence against human body. So we understand that the concern of parents and contribution teacher wish to make. I believe that if public caning is executed according to the guideline provided by the Education Ministry, it should not have any issue by then. Thank you for listening to our panel discussion and good day.